And we have a wide range in our cohort between retired, those who are part-time, those who are full-time, those who um, are recently out of undergrad, and those of us who have been out of undergrad for quite some time. And so the the overall consensus was the time commitment in year one is very cyclical, and it's based on how you're going to tackle the reading for the modules and how you're going to write that essay. It's 3,000 words. You know, you get more information at the modules for how to prepare for that. But there's a lot of reading, and people just need to know, fit it in. Some of us use different software to support online reading and using, an e-reader kind of approach, and some print them out. And I mean, there's a wide range of how people tackle that. But do know there's a lot of reading. You can fit it in around, taking your kids to practice or waiting for a meeting or whatever. But and then in year two, the consensus is largely that your research will take up as much time as you allow it to. And for those of us who aren't working, it becomes all consuming. And for those who are working, it's again something that you're able to fit in around your life. This doesn't take over your life.